Word on these internet streets is Bojangles now has a bowberry sausage biscuit.
And Bojangles is dropping this brand new bowberry sausage biscuit.
Thanks, Corey, for spilling the tea. Y'all know I have to recreate this using Miss Lena's Buttermilk Biscuit Mix, which is produced by me, spilling the sweet tea. Y'all, I love a good bowberry biscuit, so to your biscuit mix, you want to add some sugar and then give everything a good mix. If you want my full bowberry biscuit recipe, you can find it in my cookbook, Memories on a Plate, Southern Recipes I Learned from My Mama. I add dried blueberries to my biscuit mix because fresh blueberries will make the dough too wet. In order to make good biscuits, it's key to use frozen butter. Y'all know I'm the biscuit queen, so I keep a stick of butter always in my freezer because I love making homemade biscuits pretty much every weekend for my family, just like my mother did for me. Once your butter is in your bowl, all you want to do is give everything a good mix to make sure that your butter is coated in your biscuit mix. My entire childhood, I saw my mother make so many pans of biscuits using the bowl that you see me using here. She would always make a well in her bowl, and that's where the buttermilk would go. I used to always watch her make her biscuits and pull her flour from the side of her bowl into the middle and create her biscuit dough. I wanted to replicate her bowl because I would get so many questions about the bowl anytime I would make biscuits in my cooking videos. The biscuit bowl is available on my website, spillingthesweettea.com, and it is on sale for Mother's Day. So you can get my biscuit mix and my biscuit bowl for 20% off up until Mother's Day. So if you think this will be a great gift for your mom or grandma or aunt, make sure to head to my website and order you one. Now that my dough has come together, I have added it to a flour surface, and all I'm going to do is roll out my biscuits. The key to getting tall and fluffy biscuits is to roll out the dough. Once you roll it out once, all you want to do is fold it once and then turn the dough in another direction. You just want to repeat this step a few times in order to get these nice and fluffy layers into your biscuits. If you find that your biscuit dough is sticking a little bit, just add some additional flour. That's it, that's all. I think these biscuits will be so delicious to make, especially for a Mother's Day brunch. Once you've repeated this process a couple times, now it's time to cut out your biscuits. Now, I'm using a biscuit cutter, but baby, if you don't have one, just use a glass. Because I'm adding a sausage patty to my biscuits, I cut out my biscuits pretty big, but you can make them whatever size you want them to be. Just make sure when you're cutting out your biscuits that you're cutting straight down and not twisting the biscuit cutter. Because, baby, you need those biscuits to rise. So make sure you're not twisting the biscuit cutter so your biscuits rise nice and tall. And look at this biscuit dough. She is nice and thick. The key to getting nicely brown biscuits is making sure you add an egg wash on top of your biscuits. Adding that egg wash is going to make sure that your biscuits get nice and brown. And of course, I clean my eggs. Y'all know I got to take that egg snot out. Bojangles biscuits are always nice and brown because they use an egg wash. Now all you want to do is bake your biscuits on 450 for about 12 to 15 minutes. The icing is just powdered sugar, some vanilla extract, and then a couple splashes of whole milk. That's it. All you want to do is give it a whisk until everything is well combined and looks a little bit like this. For my sausage patties, I'm going with the Old Faithful Jimmy Dean. And yes, I'm using pork sausage because in my house, swine is fine. You can use whatever sausage you like for this recipe. I'm shaping these patties myself because I want to make sure they're about the same size as my biscuits. Now, I already know y'all gonna come for me in the comments and be like, I can just go through the drive-thru at Bojangles and get this. I don't have to make it, and you don't. Y'all, I grew up in Eastern North Carolina and I ate at Bojangles all the time. I love Bojangles. I just wanted to recreate this recipe because all the Bojangles in Maryland are now closed. So I couldn't get this bowberry sausage biscuit unless I travel home. From the look of Corey's video, I could tell this was going to be so good, so I had to recreate this for myself. Once your biscuits have cooled off a little bit, all you want to do is just pour on your icing, and baby, you've got a Bojangles bowberry biscuit. Well, at least the copycat version. And for someone who can't get Bojangles around the corner anymore, I was happy with how they turned out. You can add some melted butter if you want before you pour on your glaze. Baby, these biscuits are fattening enough, so I skipped that step, but feel free to do it if you make these biscuits. Baby, when I tell you this biscuit was so good just by itself, but once I added this sausage patty to it, oh my gosh. When I tell you this was the perfect combination of savory and sweet you will ever taste, it was so good. Baby, one thing about me, if I want something, oh, I'm going to recreate it at home. And that's exactly what I did with these Bojangles sausage biscuits. All I needed with this was some bow rounds or some of their seasoned fries, and this would have been a 20 out of 10. If you are like me and don't have a Bojangles near you and you want to try the bowberry sausage biscuit, go ahead and make these at home. When I tell you these were so good and definitely worth the effort. If you want to grab Miss Lena's products, just head to my website, spillingthesweettea.com. These bowberry sausage biscuits were definitely Spilling the Sweet Tea approved.